Okay, so this is probably one of the absolute embarrassing gaming launches in history, and I don't know why the developers at Sublime thought this was okay to launch this game, but this game has so much improvement that it needs to go over, and there's just so much, like, I don't know how to say it though. It's just, this is unacceptable for me to play on. And it's still playable, but why am I getting these unacceptable game behaviors I don't want? I want a smooth gaming experience though. In fact, this actually almost reminds me of seeing Microsoft launching Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It looks similar to that though. Like, these guys could be a lot worse than Microsoft. So, like, what the hell? This is unacceptable. Like, look at these. Look at this gaming behavior. But there will be a brief moment where it'll drop to below 60. So, yep, there it goes, 54. I was over like 100 FPS, but while you're in the vehicle, it just drops like crazy. Okay, so long story short, I've played Outbreak for almost several months, but I think it's been more than a few months, I would say. So I've enjoyed this game for quite a long while, and I was actually very fascinated how the game was simulated. Though this is a simulator game, and the whole point of why I chose to play this game because I was a crazy fan of Storm Chasers all the way back in the Discovery Channel, which was aired back in 2007 to 2011, so good old times. Missed those shows. Quite frankly, it was actually one of the absolute top popular shows in history. Still remains to this day. Anyway, so when I heard about this, I actually saw this on a Facebook reel about this storm chasing simulator. I was like, dang, I actually got to get this game though. And I did not know about this game that it just came out in 2024. So I was like, darn, I completely missed this thing. So played on 2026, which is this year, and I was having fun with it. But the thing I had so much trouble on was that I was actually planning to play on quality mode with no upscaling. I did not want any upscaling. I wanted to see if I could play on native. And for some reason that this game is so unoptimized to play on quality mode. So I was like, okay, let's just do ultra performance. And for some reason that made it a bit better. A bit better. The reason why I say that because for some reason that I realized that in my conclusion that the game engine itself is still not optimized to do the quality mode. Ultra performance is okay, but I would love to have some, fidelity in game visuals. I would love to do that, but I can't do that because the game visuals on like the gaming performance itself is so bad on the quality mode, and I'm like, this is so unacceptable. I can't do that. The other thing I did want to point out, there are actually a couple more problems I did want to point out the truth from my game experience with playing Outbreak is that for some reason that when I was using Process Lasso, which to kind of do use CPU affinity software to kind of tell the game to use only physical threads on my CPU, which my CPU is a Ryzen 7 700X. I was like, you know what? I don't want my threads to be, or my physical, or my virtual, I meant to say, I don't want the virtual threads to be used because they're not meant to handle these heavy tasks in a game. They're not meant to do that. So I put it on physical threads, and it kind of made things just a little better, just a bit, but it's still not enough though. And apparently, I figured out that the game engine from Outbreak, it's not communicating very well with the CPU. So the CPU and the game engine itself, like they're trying to communicate, but the game engine is not. It's not syncing properly with it. So I'm like what the hell? And the other thing is that every time, like when you're on heavy rain under a thunderstorm simulator, the all the heavy rain and hail though, it keeps making the frame so bad And I know that my hardware can do it though. My hardware is sort of high end though. Like I mentioned, mine is a Ryzen 7 700X, and I'm running on Intel Arc A770 16GB. Which obviously this game is not. It's not very VRAM hungry though. It's not. Which 8 GB of VRAM, it can still do it. So, and my RAM, it's not that very high though. It's not that very high usage. So I'm like, what the hell? Like this doesn't make any sense though. So every time you're in either heavy rain or hail, or whenever a tornado is in progress and all the debris is flying around, the game engine would always stutter, and I would always get these slow visual motions like right around me while I'm playing though. And this is so dumb. Like, why am I experiencing this when my hardware can handle it? And my hardware is not the main problem though. It's actually the damn game engine that's not optimized. And the last thing I do want to point out is that whenever you are driving around though, the FPS I will always get around like 70 plus, but there'll be months where it'll drop below 60, but I'm not doing anything. I'm just driving though. And the game engine will kind of like struggle to keep up. And I'm like, dude, this is so underwhelming. Why am I experiencing this? So anyway, and one of the last thing I do want to point out is that the simulation, there are several coded simulations you can run on for whatever swim chase you want to play on. And one of these scenarios is that every time I'm in a certain area of the map though, for some reason that whatever is not finished with the assets though, like if I'm going through that area, the game will slow down so badly. And I know it's not my hardware. It's the game engine itself that's not communicating well with the CPU and the GPU. It's not doing very well though. And there are other times where, like when I'm playing a different simulation, it would play fine. But if you're on a different simulation, but it's not fully finished though, even though it looks finished, you're gonna get the stutters. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This game is still not optimized. I'm gonna show you guys right here what I'm talking about. So let's get to it though. I'm gonna show two different comparisons. So Ryzen 7 with my Intel Arc, and my gaming laptop has an Ultra 9 4070. Because obviously my hardware is not the problem though. It's the game engine. So here we go. Okay. So here I am in OUTBRK, and as you can see, I'm using only physical threads on my CPU. So everything I have labeled here, which is physical thread 1, virtual thread 1, so on and so forth, that's pretty much all from me. I labeled all that. And you guys can see these numbers, they're all like in a pattern where like the physical threads are used and the virtual threads are somewhat absent. Some are used, but not as much. And the way I was able to do this is by using process lasso to pretty much tell the game to use only physical threads and not the virtual ones. And I do want to show you guys something here that's going to be very questionable. So I am on ultra performance for this part, and I have, all this and that, and my anti-aliasing is through the max. So now you guys might be wondering, why do I have an ultra performance? Well, quality mode is very bad for this game, and I'm gonna show you guys why. So I'm gonna try doing balance here, and we're gonna see how this thing does. Okay. Oh, yep. Oh, okay. So, alright. So whenever I am facing the storm that's full of rain, that's when the game engine is really having a hard time. I know my CPU is capable of handling this. The problem is that the game engine cannot render that well. What if I go a little further? Let's check that out. Quality, and watch what happens here. Like, very, like, just very terrible. Like, I don't know what the hell Sublime was thinking they can get away with this though. It's just like, I want better game visuals, but this is unacceptable. Like, I'm getting 39 FPS and look at my frame time consistency. It's going all over the place. This is really bad. Now, watch what happens when I go even further. I might crash into this, but who knows. So, if I crash, oh well. Ultra quality. What happens if I do that? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's not as bad. Okay, now it's going below 30. Okay, that's awful. I don't know what the hell this is. This is so embarrassing. Completely underwhelming for a gamer to experience better visuals, but with this much FPS they're experiencing. This is really bad. And my GPU is doing everything it can, but it's obviously that the GPU is fine, and the CPU is also not having a problem. The only problem is with the game engine itself. It's not optimized and it's not meant to handle this much because it's not ready to go this far. I don't understand. But there are some other areas I do want to show you guys that's very just dumb and very overwhelming. So I'm gonna switch back to ultra performance, but I'm gonna show you guys something else that really occurs. It's really dumb, and there's a reason why this game engine is so unoptimized. Okay, so I want to show you guys real briefly about this part here, and there's actually more than just this spot here. This is an unfinished terrain by Sublime. So this is real lazy. I don't know why I didn't have finishes, but this does impact my vehicle when I'm driving off a little bit. So very lazy, just very dumb. I don't know why they didn't take care of this, but like I said, there's more than one of these things that are off the road and things like that. Just want to show you guys that. You might hear my keys going off, but I want to show you something that's really annoying. So yeah. Yeah, if you guys are seeing my FPS though, I would go up maybe almost 70 FPS, but there will be a brief moment where it will drop to below 60. So, yep, there it goes, 54. That was the lowest one. So that's obviously my hardware can do this though, but the only issue is just with the game engine there, 53 FPS. What the hell is this? Just typical BS that Sublime thought this was acceptable to do. Yeah, so see that right there. It's going to go down again. It's trying to hold up. It's going to go down. 60, 53. Yep, there it goes. So, yeah. Yeah, if you guys have entry-level hardware, obviously your hardware is not the problem, though. I mean, depending on your CPU and the threads you have, but this is just very unacceptable. Oh my gosh, yeah. I just dropped the, like, 47 FPS, but I just saw it there, so... Not very great, but that's what I want to show you guys. Alright, so I'm going to try to intercept this thing just for you guys, just for fun, but I'm going to try to do this. So, do all that, and then deploy, just like that, and right now I'm not really experiencing any stutterings at all. I mean, this is alright. Okay, now this is where, yeah, alright, so... Yeah, and this, whenever you're in the vehicle, though, for some reason that the game engine just can't simulate very well. Like, it just can't, like, the CPU, oh yeah, see that? I just dipped down a bit further. I was over, like, 100 FPS, but while you're in the vehicle, it just drops like crazy. Like, this is just so dumb. Like, this should not happen like that. Yeah, I'm already over, like, 100, like, 90 to 100 FPS more. But whenever you're in the vehicle, though, the game engine just can't. It just can't simulate very well, though. Like, it can't communicate the GPU and the CPU at the same time very well. That's just unacceptable, underwhelming, and completely embarrassing. So, there's that right there. Here we are on my second system, which is an Alienware X16R2 gaming laptop, which has an Ultra 9 195H and a 4070 GPU. But most importantly, I want to talk about is the GPU utilization, because this is where it gets really disappointing though. So I want you guys to focus right here, my utilization. So this thing's gonna drop whenever I drive around. So there'll be moments where it'll drop down like briefly, and it's really bad. So make this quick here. I have to make sure I'm on high speed on the road, so it might take a while before it drops down. Oh, never mind. Okay, yep, there's a drop. So 51%. See, obviously my GPU can handle it, but problem is that it's just the game engine doing that to me, so it's not communicating very well. Let's see if there's another one. Should drop any minute now. 42. Yep, that's the one, another drop. We'll do one more drop here. Oh, okay, there you go. That's 3 drops. So yep, as you guys can see, the utilization dropped from a 4070, so the game engine is awful. Very underwhelming and very embarrassing to play on. So I don't know why, but there's that. That's the one thing I want to show you guys of what happens with this game. Alright, so with everything that I presented, let me show you guys what Outbreak is looking like on the raw performance and game engine behavior. This is just underwhelming and very embarrassing for Sublime. So I don't get why they thought this was okay, but I mean, it's still playable, but more often you're gonna get some really odd stutters because it's not your hardware at all, fellas. It's mainly the game engine that's not synchronizing and not communicating with the GPU and CPU very well. So, yeah. One of the story I do want to share you guys that this was actually very personal, and actually, you know what? I believe you guys deserve to know what happened to me when I was actually in the Outbreak Discord. So when I went in there, everything was fine until everyone. I think one person on Discord from the Outbreak Discord community had one issue with CPU performance, or I don't know if it was GPU. I can't remember. So I pretty much sent a link, which is bitsum.com, for Process Lasso, because that was the one I recommended, and the developer users had a strict warning, but I was being respectful, and I understand, um, like, not to sell anything at all, even though I was not selling anything, and I was like, okay, well, I will do this though if you guys want me to respect your guidelines. So I was being careful, and then and some people kept telling that they were telling on the Discord channel that they were experiencing a lot of stutters. Their GPU was not responding, and I told them it's not GPU intensive. It's still CPU. And a couple other folks argued back at me, and quite frankly, I think almost like I would say almost 5 minutes ago, I think later, I got I got kicked out, and the reason why I got kicked out because those developers accused me as a bot, which I was not a bot at all. So complete idiotic morons. So those developers are idiots because obviously they thought I was a bot and thinking that I was sharing wrong knowledge. No, I was not sharing wrong knowledge. I was telling them the truth, and they just accused me of being a bot. So there goes that. And this can be a very heated message. So to the Sublime community, you guys are idiots. And you guys want to know why I called you guys idiots? Because all these things that we're going through an outbreak, these are not bugs. Watch here though. So when you guys are seeing this right here on the gameplay, these are not bugs. If you guys don't know what a bug is, you need to look up your own definition of what the fuck a bug is in a gameplay. These are game engine unoptimized behavior. Understand that, folks? People who work at Sublime, these are not bugs. These are unoptimized game engine behaviors. Alright? So obviously, if you guys knew what you guys were talking about, I wouldn't be doing this to you guys. So you guys need to shut the fuck up and need to show me some respect though, because how is this for a bot though that I can show you guys that these are not bugs at all though? Okay? Now let me show you what a bug demonstration is, or what kind of example I'm talking about what a bug is. Let's see this right here. This on the road here, this is a terrain bug that you guys did not finish, and that was the laziest move I've ever seen you guys do. So get your definition straight at all, fellas. And this is what you get for disrespecting me though, for trying to help out your gaming audience. So you know what? Show me some respect though. And if you believe I'm an AI though, yeah, you got another thing coming. Anyway, so sorry for the heated message though, but that's kind of like half the thing I wanted to tell Sublime about this. And what do I think, Sublime? If you guys really want to help your gaming community, I'll be happy to help your gaming community. But if you really want your gaming community to love your game, though, and you really want them to, kind of have a better experience, though, I'll gladly help out. Unless you send me a formal email invitation to your Discord. And one condition, though, if you guys disrespect me again, though, we don't have to talk any more of it, and we're going to be officially done. And that's it. That's the one condition, though. So if you guys want me to help you guys out and give the gamers a better experience, though, then that's just part of the condition. Anyway, that's pretty much all it, though. This is all I can say here at this point, though. I mean, if you guys want to keep playing Outbreak, that's completely fine. I mean, I don't care what you guys do, but I highly advise you guys either try to at least wait this out. But if you guys really want to play this game, I recommend trying out CPU Set Setter, because that's actually a free CPU Affinity software. Very easy to use, though, and quite frankly, it's better than not trying to help yourself, trying to get better performance. But if you guys have Process Lasso, I mean, do the same thing as well. But that's it for though. I had enough with Sublime's bullshit, and I'm not gonna let them get away with it thinking that they're smart at all, but they're not smart at all, because obviously they don't know what the fuck a bug is. They don't know what the hell a game engine unoptimized behavior is. So if they knew it, I wouldn't say this. But this is what they get, so that's that. Divine Technos is out. Hopefully you gamers enjoyed this performance review and my hastiness of the message to Sublime. You fellas take care.